Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by lynda.com. Today on Variant, it's Green Lantern versus Nova. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than Breaking Bad is one of the best TV shows ever. I'm your host, Arris Quinones. Today, I'm putting the Green Lantern Corps' Hal Jordan against the Nova Corps' Richard Rider. It's intergalactic superhero against intergalactic superhero. So let's see how the Nova Force stacks up against the will of a Green Lantern. Ready? Fight. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. The only way to declare a winner is by knowing each opponent and what they both can do. So let's start with the Green Lantern Hal Jordan. He first appeared in Showcase issue 22 in 1959. Hal Jordan was born into a military family. His father, Martin Jordan, flew in the war and during Hal's childhood was a test pilot for Ferris aircraft. Hal had an especially close bond to his father, both of them sharing a love for flying. Hal would often skip school to watch his father fly, but one day Martin was killed during a test flight gone awry, with both Hal and Carol Ferris watching. As a result, Hal's mother forbade him from frequenting airfields or having anything whatsoever to do with the world of aviation, which had taken her husband. Giving Hal an ultimatum, he promised not to join the Air Force. However, at age 18, Hal joined the Air Force anyway and was considered one of the best young pilots. Much later, while testing a flight simulator, an energy field surrounded him and took him to Abensor, a dying Green Lantern whose ring he would inherit and become the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, aka Earth. With the ability to overcome great fear and harness the power of will, Hal established an impressive record of heroism across the galaxy with the help of his fellow Green Lanterns as well as his peers in the Justice League. Hal is considered to be the greatest Green Lantern in the history of the Corps and is currently leading the Green Lanterns and finding new recruits after the events with the First Lantern. Moving on to Nova, we have Richard Rider. Some of you may be like, what about Sam Alexander? Isn't he the current Nova? And yes, he is, but Richard Rider is the original Nova and my favorite Nova, so that's who I'm gonna go with. Nova first appeared in Nova issue 1 in 1976. Richard Rider was an average teenager. He wasn't the class clown, the wallflower, or the cool kid. He just went to high school, had girl troubles, and tried to help out his parents and younger brother when he was at home. All went on as normal for Richard until he came into contact with the Nova Corps. The Nova Corps is a peacekeeping force that was based on planet Xandar. The planet was destroyed by the space pirate known as Zor. When Roman Day, the Nova Prime, was dying, he fled through the universe and went to Earth. There he chose Richard Rider to receive his powers and granted him the Nova Force. He was asked by Roman Day to use his powers for the good of Earth and the universe and serve as its protector. This was a lot for the teenage Rider, but nonetheless he started a superhero career with his newfound powers as Nova, the human rocket. And much like Hal Jordan being the leader of the Green Lantern Corps, Rider was also the Nova Prime or Centurion Prime, leader of the Nova Corps. Now, if you haven't noticed, the origins for Hal Jordan and Richard Rider are extremely similar because the Nova Corps is essentially Marvel's version of the Green Lantern Corps. It's actually not uncommon for comic publishers to take influences from each other. Marvel's done it to DC and DC's done it to Marvel. Now you know their origins if you didn't already, so let's move on to their powers, starting with the Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is the bearer of a Green Lantern ring which grants him numerous amount of powers and abilities. The ring gives him artificial intelligence. Every ring has a connection to the main battery on the Green Lantern home planet Oa, which taps into an artificial intelligence. It acts as an onboard computer of sorts, telling the wearer what they need to know. It can respond out loud or silently directly to the wearer's mind. The ring can also act as a communicator, shoot energy projections, and the ring could also form protective bubble force fields and fire destructive blasts. The ring also allows Hal Jordan to phase through walls, become invisible, emulate matter, fly, and most notably create energy constructs. The rings can construct anything the wearer can imagine from hard light, as long as they're willing to make it. The more determined the wearer is, the more complex, intricate, and strong the constructs can become. Moving on to Nova, he gets his powers from the source known as the Nova Force, which is wielded by all members of the Nova Corps. The Nova Force gives him abilities that include flight, super strength, speed, and durability, as well as the power to absorb energies directed at him and release it as gravimetric beams and pulses, either from single parts of his body or from his entire body surface. Nova's uniform has a built-in life support function that can sustain Rider under the most extreme environmental conditions, including acting as a life support suit by locking off the mouth and eyes of his helmet. The helmet contains a radio, telescopic sights, night vision sensors, and heat imaging sensors, as well as a visual heads-up display for tracking energy signatures. Now that I've given you some info on both characters, it's up to you guys to decide who the winner is. Head over to our Variant Facebook page to cast your vote on a poll we posted there on who would win in a fight, the Green Lantern or Nova, and I'll announce who the winner is at the end of next week's episode. Lynda.com is an online learning company with more than 77,000 video tutorials that teach software, creative, and business skills. Memberships start at $25 per month and provides an unlimited 24/7 access to top quality video courses taught by expert instructors with real-world experience. Learn anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace, from bite-sized video tutorials to comprehensive courses in web design, program design, photography, business, audio and video, 3D, and animation. And you can learn on the go with our optimized mobile site or free iPhone and iPad app for members. Try Lynda.com free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/variants and get some knowledge in your brain. First up for Wednesday, March 19th, we have Daredevil Issue 1. Mark Waid starts an all-new volume of Daredevil in the Marvel Now. His last run of Daredevil was amazing, so I can only imagine this will be too. Now we have all-new Ghost Rider Issue 1. Ghost Rider gets his own title once again. It's a must-check out for any fan of the Flamehead. Here we have Harley Quinn Issue 4. Meet Harley's new neighbors and shudder at the horrifying realization that they are so twisted they make her seem like the normal one on the block. Next we have Batman Beyond Universe Issue 8. In Justice League Beyond, the battle against Brainiac hits Paradise Island. Meanwhile, the Man-Bat saga reaches its conclusion in Batman Beyond. And finally, we have Superman Unchained Issue 6. It's Superman vs. Wraith and the biggest battle we've seen in this comic book yet. And that brings another episode of Variant to a close. But remember to vote on our Variant Facebook page on who you think would win in a fight, Green Lantern or Nova. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones. But I'll see you all next week when I talk about all things comics. To take influences from each other,